But today, good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing okay this morning after the election. I know I was up late as I could, you know, because we go to bed early and we get up early, so it's you know, difficult for us to stay up that late. But I'd like to welcome everybody here. If there's anybody here that didn't stay up all too late, but today we're going to go to the Aquapontics on Wheels. We're going to put a breeding set in there. They're not going to breed this time of year, but they won't breed till the springtime. But we're going to put a breeding set to finish growing up in the Aquapontics on Wheels, so that they'll start stabilizing that system, because it's already stable, but now it's time to add the fish to it. So today we're going to try to sex these fish so that you can see me putting in, you know, I want to put 6 females and 1 male. But if I happen to put 2 males in there, it really isn't good for such a small container, because it's about, with total. All right, let me explain just a little bit. I don't want to get complicated. This right here, this is just an example. Well, this IBC right here, this IBC is 275 gallons. All right, but that's not all the fish's water. Part of that water is through the grow bed and up in the flush system and down in the sub tank and in this tank. So these fish don't live in 275 gallons. They live in about 1,200 gallons. Sorry to say the bagel. It was good. Blueberry bagel was yummy. So anyway, they live in about 1,200 gallons. So I can put more of them in there because they can be a little more confined, you know, a little less area to swim and stuff, and they can get bigger because their water volume is so much bigger. But it's floating, and I know we talked about that before, about floating water. The floating water is the water that runs through the system while keeping the tanks full. So, I mean, if all the water was in one place, it would definitely run over and flood this greenhouse. So anyway, so for the Aquapontics on Wheels, we're actually circulating 125 gallons. I know it's 55-gallon tank, but I got 2 half a 55-gallon tank plus the pipes and everything. It's just moving through there, and once you get in a cycle, you know, it just keeps moving. So I can put these 7 fish, and they'll get full grown in there, and they'll be fine, even though it looks like they're just living in 55 gallons of water. They're really living in roughly 100 gallons of water, right? Okay. I had to explain that a little bit. Somebody coming by. Sorry, I'm a little. It's just so much dust. I mean, I wish it would really rain, but we're in a serious drought. It hasn't rained in 4 months here, so it's crazy. But all right, so the reason we're going to sex these fish now, I'm going to tell you a little preliminary. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see the vents on a fish in this camera and in this, but I'm going to try to show you the best I can. I pretty much know how to catch them. I mean, they want to run and hide and stuff, and you see this big old plant here. They're going to want to run and go hide in there. But the first thing I'm going to do is, now, after we get these fish and we get them in this tank, I'm going to take this 5-gallon bucket and I'm going to let it sit in the water there. And, you know, even though the water temperature is probably exactly the same, I'm not going to take that chance. I'm going to sit this bucket in there for roughly about 40 minutes, you know, because it'll equalize in temperature in there, and so the fish will just be just fine and happy. But they're going to be going into an awesome, very well aerated. I'm sure the oxygen levels at 100% in there right now because of the water moving through there. So Sorry. So let's get to catching these fish. Now, I have a couple of nets, and this one could definitely catch them. I had to retrieve this out of the stinging nettle, and I got stung a few times, but that's not no big deal to me. Me and Krista were talking about that last night, about getting stung with a stinging nettle, because if you have body aches and stuff like that, getting stung by the stinging nettle will take those away for several days, make you forget that you have them so much that you keep working hard, and that's actually a good thing, that you build up muscles around the injured areas. I'm just cleaning this off just a little bit because it has some duckweed on it from moving duckweed from tank to tank. But after we get them in, I'm going to use this net behind here to kind of run them into this net. So I'm going to put this in here and let them go ahead and acclimate to this, because they're gonna run and hide in the weeds right now. And I wish I could see that, but I got this around there. All right, now I'm going to try to run them around there. This net, they're moving. They're jumping around. I didn't get one. So, I have a composter. This water lettuce, it it's actually edible. It's like eating a very hot pepper. Uh, so, but I'm not real worried about it being in here. It just purifies the water a little bit. It catches solids on top of it. Their waste. And if I have to, I can remove this. I have a little. Well, hey, my brother grass grew right through the overflow valve, and it was just holding it on so the fish could knock it off. I didn't know that. I'm gonna put this inside because they actually do need to catch these guys, so we can do a show. So I'm going to remove this. It's a huge baby, but it's in a pot right here. I'm just going to set this right here. I'm not taking these out. I'm just going to move them just for a second, just so I'm not catching these. We'll put these right over here. Now, they got no place to hide. And tilapia, all right, got one. So, I put some water in our bucket. That'll work. Good. Get this little guy out of here. Well, you just got all tangled up in there, didn't you, buddy? These are the babies from this year, and actually being kind of calm, cool. I appreciate that, dude. Oh, it's no big deal. Uh, come over and heal. Quick. There we go. Now we're free. Now I need what we do. Probably gonna poop on me. It's got a poking out. I poop on y'all instead. All right. Now we see the vent there, and this vent you're not really going to be able to see, but it's a circle and then a line, a rounded part. This is a male. This is a male. They'll have a little vent, and it's a small male. And actually, I don't want this male in there because I'd like a little bigger male to dominate the females. I know that sounds bad, but so we're gonna put him back. Now this is more what we're at for. So I'm gonna put this right here. Just trying to catch them. I caught a big male in here. I saw him because he's red. There he is. Okay. No, don't do that. But this one you'll be able to see a little bit better. I got two more in there, so I'm just gonna leave. Now, all right, leave it there for just a second. Let it focus. I'm sorry, buddy, but this is actually this is a female. You see, right there, it's kind of a rounded shape with a little triangle on there. So this is a big female. She's quite beautiful, and she roughly weighs about a half a pound. So I'm going to put her in our water and hope she don't poop on us. So she's going in the tank. So let's catch some more. They're a little harder to sex when they're small, but actually we have a male right here. You see how it's rounded and it's about to poop. So this is still a small male, and I'm really not wanting that small male. So I'm gonna release this one and not let him poop on us, but put him back in there because we're gonna look for a little bit bigger male. I had three, but one of them got out, I guess. So let's go in here. Stop chicken too much. I know. Calm down. You're caught. It's a nice size one right here. Oh, you can't get out. Quit getting me wet. I'm putting you in a better environment. This is the big. All right, now here we go. It's gonna be upside down. But see how that's totally round there? The vent hole? I'm talking about the second vent, not the poop chute, but the second one. This is a bigger male here. So this is the one I want for our tank. So all we need now is 5 more females. So the other males, I will grow them up and they will be dinner. You know, so. All right. We got our second female. If y'all can see, it's got a triangle down there. I'm gonna hold that still. I know she's a fish out of water, but it's a triangle down there. So we have 1 male and 2 females so far. And no, don't flip. All right, we're getting lucky here, guys. This is another female. So we have 1 male and 3 females. All right, let's catch some more. Gotta give them a second to calm down a little bit. It's not hard to catch them in here. They're right now they're building up an ammonia, and I'm going to have an ammonia spike in here from doing this. But my water plants will in the system will stabilize that water spike, so you know that I'm not having plant damage and that kind of stuff. I know. Okay. I got a bunch of them this time. All right. So I'm gonna try to get a tank ready for just males, so that it can grow them out for our consumption. I know that sounds bad, but that's why we're in this market. All right. All right, look at there. We have a nice little triangle down there. I'll try to hold it still so the camera can focus. So this makes another female. I mean, it makes sense that, you know, the triangle and then the male being round, you know, so you kind of can imagine. Hope you'll get all tangled up. All right, this is a male. It's got a rounded bottom on it, so we're gonna let him go. Some of them are just so hard to tell. This has definitely got a triangle on it, but see, it's definitely got a triangle on it, but it's so tiny. I know, but it's a female. Uh, I don't remember our count. They're swimming around so much they stirred up the water. That's so nasty. I think that's 4 females and 1 male. I think we got 2 more to go. Uh, I have to untangle them from the net. The middle ones anyway. They just fit through there. Oh, don't put them there. Wow, another female. It's got the little triangle vent down there. I see it. See it. So I think that's 5. And I can tell right now this is a male because of the coloring. No, this is a female. Look at that. I want you to look right there. You see that striping? They do that when they're pregnant. I can't see. She might have eggs in her mouth, or yep, she's got that triangle down there. She might have eggs in her mouth. I can't see. They kind of get a, yeah. See that gulp she just did? That gulp. She's keeping her eggs in. She might have eggs right now. So, but I'm hoping y'all could see that striping right there. She gets that when she's pregnant, or this it's telling the male fish, leave me alone. So there's our set. That was easy. I mean, it's this must be a tank full of females. Uh, I hope not. Oh, there's a big male. Oh, I wish I'd have caught him earlier. No way I could separate that male that I already caught out there, but let me show you this guy. All right. Calm down. All right. Be careful. Oh, I got my male. Leave me alone. He has a red hue on his head, and he could actually be. Yeah, look at this. He's actually got it hanging out even. So calm down, bad boy. But he's got a red hue, and when these white tilapias they get to breeding, the males turn red, and the females, they get the blue striping. But yeah, he's actually got it hanging out right now. So he's definitely a male. I wish I'd have caught him earlier, but we're gonna release him back in there. He's gonna be either, if I can set up another breeding tank, or which y'all can see the right behind me here. I am working on doubling the size of my system. I'm throwing water as I express myself. Express yourself. But I'm doubling the size of it. And then I'm putting these 55-gallon drums sideways so that I can put my bigger fruit trees and bananas and that kind of stuff in the system, so that they're in the system. So this is the last one I've catch today. Their net out. Now this one is a female. You can see the little vent down there for eggs. So actually, since they're small, I'm going to go ahead and put her in there. I'll have 7 females and 1 male in that system, and we'll give it a try. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this back, because I know everybody's like, oh, what's going on? Not straight as it was, but there we go. Well, it's going to do what it's going to do what it wants to do, but all these will straighten back up, and whatever they want to do. Yeah, this umbrella grass has grown through the leaves of the waterlets, so the waterlets can't even move in there. But I'm going to put this other waterlet back in there that we had. I like to keep this section over here kind of like their hiding hole. You know, I'll shove all this in the corner, and it just makes them feel good that I got a place to hide. And if these are babies, but if they did happen to have babies, uh, then the babies had plenty of places around here to hide and stuff like that. So this water is not very clean. It's going to be rough, you know, because lots of pee in it. But better than having poop on your hands. But when they have babies, they will cannibalize their babies because the babies come out and they got the egg sacs on them, and they look like insects. You know, truthfully, look like insects. So you need to catch them then. But once they turn white, even if they're small, once they turn white and the fish can see, hey, that's another one of me, they don't eat them anymore. So that's something we've discovered. Even if you're not here to catch the female letting them go out of their mouth, then I'm going to put this in here for a little bit. Let them have a little bit of oxygen because they're going to be in this water for 40 minutes and over there in the Aquapontics on wheels. But even if you don't catch the females letting them go out of their mouth, then the babies, if they have someplace to hide, they'll go hide, and then in a few days they'll turn white. And then once I see that they're in there and they're white, I'll take them and I'll put them in the baby tank, which is, I'll put them in the duckweed growers or in here. That's what I've been doing, putting them all in here. Reason it was so easy to catch fish is because I got way too many fish in here. There's probably 400 fish in here. So it's way too many fish for them. So I'm going to be separating them out. But like I said, they're okay and they're living in there and they're fine because for overflow valve back in there, because they're not living in this 400 gallons here. They're living in 1,200 gallons or 1,000 gallons or whatever the system is flushing it or working through it. So they're living in this bigger area, the bigger place, so because the water's constantly circulating. I did turn off the aquaponics today because we're working right here beside it, and every it's like 12 minutes. Every 12 minutes you would hear it go kadoosh. It sounded like somebody flushing a toilet because it works off a toilet valve. But I'm gonna go put these guys in the tank and get them started, acclimating to the water temperature, so that they can move over there. But I hope you enjoyed today's show because I really enjoyed making it and trying to teach you a little bit about aquaponics so that to show you how easy it is. I mean, I know you watch other channels about aquaponics. You watch mine, you're watching other channels about aquaponics, and they say you have to have this and this and this and this and this and this to be able to do this and make it sound like it's so complicated. It's not, truthfully. And I'm going to stand on a limb now, and I'm going to get a lot of criticism and all that. If you want a stable system, put some water plates in it. That's what they're made for. They're made to stabilize the water. And they do it, and they do a good job. They take up room, where you could be growing other stuff, but having a stable tank is by far the most important thing to me. So if you can see down there on mine, the duckweed stabilizes it, plus it grows their food. The umbrella grass, the water lettuce, that's all I really have for water plants. But in the water lettuce, the algae grows in there. Everybody talks about how algae is bad. Algae is not bad. If you have algae in your water, that means the algae is purifying your water. So, and the white tanks, everybody sees aquaponics has white tanks. Everybody says, don't grow the white tanks because they grow algae. Algae is not a bad thing. I'm going to say that again. Algae is not a bad thing. It's purifying your water. It's stabilizing your water. If you want a system that's pretty and all that kind of stuff, go ahead and buy their stuff. I mean, if that's what that's what you want, and there's nothing wrong with that. Having a pretty system because somebody comes and looks and says, "Oh wow, you got the cool clay balls and all that." I use river rock, and mostly, as you can see, you can't see my rocks anyway because the plants are just going crazy. But that's a soapbox, that I'll stand on and I'll defend, and a few Aquapontics channels, bigger ones, have disowned me because I do this kind of stuff. I do. The person who taught me how to do aquaponics told me, he said, look, she said, look, there's nothing wrong with trying something new. If it works, share it. Other people want to know. If it doesn't work, then, share it that it didn't work so that other people will know. So that's what I live by in my life and my struggle with the Father and trying to do the right thing. All right, guys, I'm off the soapbox for now. That's all what I did with fish. We're going to put them in the system. But next week, we're going to check on these fish and see how they're doing, make sure everybody's okay and not upsetting the system any. So our duckweed that we put in there, we put a teaspoon of duckweed in there 2 weeks ago, is it's almost covering it up. So I'm making a video of that, so stick around. We'll see that. All right, guys, I'm going to go put these fish in there. Y'all have a good day. Have a great second day after election. I don't want to get into politics because I think we're in trouble. No, either way, he would have went. I think we would have been in trouble, but that's okay. All right, guys. Ani, Ove, Ocha. I love you in Hebrew. Later, guys.